Hi everyone, it's Bob from Greybeard Models. Welcome back to the channel, and we're going to carry on now with the Stalwart with all of the Inside the Armour resin parts added, or at least some of the parts added. And I'll take the step slowly so that you can see what I've had to do to get them to fit. So I didn't really want to rush through and do. There you go, it's all in place. I just wanted to show you the steps that I've taken to make sure they fit properly and do work. So without further waffle, let's get over to the workbench. We'll have a look. Okay, so the last step, we'd just fitted the thrusters for the water propulsion unit. And now what we've done is put the rest of the sort of suspension and stuff on the underside, closed all that up. That's all done. That's now ready for primer. Okay, so this is the cab detail set. I've taken the playpen off the side, and now I've got to work my way into that to decide how everything all goes together. The instrument panel there, and these other parts that are in the kit but are not as fine as this, so all of this has got to come off, and then we can get some primer paint on that. These are the control levers for the thrusters of the water what a propulsion unit. God's sake, God, breaking the teeth in for French. These are the control rods for the water propulsion unit that go along the side of the cab, and these are the two of the controls for that. Not sure what this is. This is one radio, another radio. I think these are two, but I'm not sure what that is, and I'm going to go away and have a look. That's the steering column. That's the handbrake setup, and there's a couple of spare fire extinguishers. I like the idea of having these spare fire extinguishers. They're really good. Anyway, so I'm gonna go and have a look at what that is, and then and prepare the rest of these parts to be primered. Now I've got all of this painted matte black primer, my favourite primer, and then realised actually I could have put those two parts on as well and got those painted and primed. But never mind, they can sit there for the next time I start priming. I can spin this over and then just give those a dab. And I think the last build that I did, I put the tail part on here, along with two eyes that come out, and then painted all of that. But hey, you know. Anyway, moving swiftly on. So I've got this part off of the 3D resin, and I was looking at it and I was trying to work, what the bejesus is that, I said to myself. So did a bit of research. There's a lot of channels on YouTube where people are restoring stollies, and anyway, I looked around, and I think it's this part here. It's replacing that, and if I'm wrong, I'm going to make a critical error. I don't think I am, but that's if from what I can gather, it's sort of like a cooking thing. I don't know. I'm sure there's someone out there that can tell me. So what I'm going to endeavour to do is cut this out and then put that in its place, because it's got far more detail than that has. Okay, so just wanted to show you I'd taken out that sort of moulding and put a piece of plastic card in there just to fill the hole, and then another piece of plastic card on the side there because I took that side off, and then I've given it a coat of Mr. Hobby Mr. Surfacer 1000, and that'll gradually sort of settle. So I'll leave that now for probably tomorrow morning. Give it sort of 24 hours, let it settle down, and we'll see what happens. It probably need a little bit of sanding just to tidy it up, but yeah, it was just a matter of sort of making that a little bit more presentable. Okay, so I've now added that part in there. It's a bit of glare on off the light, but there you go, that adds that, and there's a fair bit more detail there. So that's ready for primer. And if I just turn this round, while I was working on that, I've also cut away this is the radio, so that's just a little bit of dressing on that. This is the control for the water navigation system, and there's the two arms there that support the radio. The underside of the radio's got a bar in it, so that can go into position. And then there's the sort of handbrake thing there. This is the instrument panel, as you can see, and the parts. Far more detail on this. There's cables coming off of there. There seems to be another cable off of the top of there, and these seems to be appear to be more in scale, so that's all good. Right, so what I've done there is just put the parts in place with a bit of PVA glue just to hold them in position, just to sort of get an idea of where everything goes. And I think if I take those, and then if we bring in that lot, you can see there's a considerable difference in some of the parts, and I sort of get that, you know, I mean, Airfix have got limitations. So the next thing is, I think, is to use the underside here, this guide, to fit where that goes, because that's about the only fixing point. And then the other thing to do will be to use the Airfix parts, because under there is the pedals, so I can cut the pedals away, fit those, and then fit that over the top. And I think that's how that should work. So I'm going to go away and do that, and I think we'll call it a day, and then I'll come back to you with the next video, and that should all be in place, and some of the other stuff for the cab. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope that was interesting. I hope that sort of helps. If anybody out there is doing these things, whether or not, you know, my blundering through has helped you. But anyway, thanks for watching. Please leave a like or a comment, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks a lot. Bye for now.